Hello everyone, for today we should discuss about z-score. If you heard about z-score, what comes on your mind? Z-score describes the position of a row score in terms of its distance from the mean when measured in standard deviation units. So z-score indicates how much a given value differs from the standard deviation. So the z-score is positive if the value lies above the mean and negative if it lies below the mean. It's also known as the standard score because it allows comparison of scores on different kinds of variables by standardizing the distribution. A standard normal distribution is normally shaped distribution with a mean of 0 and the standard deviation of 1. For illustration, at mean is equal to 0, it is the standard deviation, and the mean is greater than 0, z-score is positive. But if the mean is less than 0, the z-score is negative.
Good day, I am Ressa and I am going to elucidate why z-score is important. It is important or it is useful to standardize the values or what we call the row scores of a normal distribution by converting them into z-scores. It is because first, it allows the researchers to calculate the probability of a score occurring within a standard normal distribution. And the last one, it enables us to compare two scores that are from different samples, which may have a different means and have a different standard deviation. We can apply z-scores in a real-life situation. I have listed here an example specifically in medical settings. So let's say for instance that it's well documented that the weight of a newborn are normally distributed with a mean of about 7.5 pounds and a standard deviation of 0.5 pounds. So with the help of z-scores, it is to analyze a certain newborn's weight compares to the weight of all the babies.
Hi everyone, I am Perlina Timbang and today I will teach you on how to calculate a z-score. So the formula for calculating a z-score is z is equals to x minus mu divided by sigma, where x is the raw score minus this sign read as mu, this is our population mean, divided by this sign read as sigma, this is our population standard deviation.
So for the example, in a statistics examination, the mean grade is 78 and the standard deviation is 10. Find the following. Letter A, the corresponding z-score of two students whose grade are 93 and 62 respectively. Here's the solution. But before jumping into the solution, you need first to comprehend and understand the given situation or problem. So in order for you to be guided, just write down the formula, which is z is equals to x minus mu divided by sigma. If mu is equals to 78 and our sigma or standard deviation is 10, as you can see, we have two raw scores here, or x, which are 93 and 62, but we will only just use 93. Z is equals to 93 minus 78. We will just need to substitute their values and divide it by our sigma, which is 10. So z is equals to 15 over 10, because 93 minus 78 is 15, and simplify it, it will become 1.5. So our z-score is 1.5. For the second example, what if raw score or our x is missing while there is the value of z-score? So what are we going to do? Just like for this letter B, in the statistics examination, the mean grade is 78 and the standard deviation is 10. Find the following. For the letter B, the grades of two students whose z-scores are 0.6 and 1.2 respectively. So as we can see, there are two z-scores here, but we will only use the 0.6. So here it is, the solution. Z is equals to x minus mu divided by our sigma, where our mu is equivalent to 78, sigma is equal to 10. Since the z-score is already given, which is 0.6 and 1.2, but we will only use the 0.6, and our x or raw score is missing. So here it is. Substitute their values. So our z-score is 0.6. Then x is missing. Then minus 78, which is our mu, and divided by sigma. Then you need to cross multiply it. So 0.6 times 10 is 6. Then x minus 78. Then transpose. Remember, if we transpose, the sign will change. So from negative 78, it will be changed to positive 78. So 6 plus 78 instead of 6 minus 78, because we already transposed 78 to the other side. So 6 plus 78 is equals to x. 6 plus 78 is 84. So our x is 84.
So how do we interpret a z-score? The value of a z-score tells you how many standard deviations you are away from the mean. If a z-score is equal to 0, then it is on the mean. A positive z-score reveals that the raw score is higher than the mean average. For example, if a z-score is equals to positive 1, then it is 1 standard deviations above the mean. A negative z-score indicates that the raw score is below the mean average. For example, if a z-score is negative 2, then it is 2 standard deviations below the mean. Another way to interpret a z-score is by creating a standard normal distribution, or also known as the z-score distribution or the probability distribution. Here's a figure that illustrates the standard normal distribution and the normal distribution. First, the SND or the Z distribution is always the same shape as the raw score distribution. For example, if the raw score distribution is normally distributed, then so is the z-score. Second, the mean of any SND is always equals to 0. Third, the standard deviation of any SND is always equals to 1. Therefore, one standard deviation of the raw score is always converts into one z-score unit. Moreover, the SND allows researchers to calculate the probability randomly obtaining a score from a distribution. For example, there is a 68% probability of randomly selecting a score between negative 1 and positive 1 standard deviations from the mean. And see on the figure, a proportion of a standard normal distribution or the SND in the percentages. The probability of a randomly selecting a score between negative 1.96 and positive 1.96 standard deviations from the mean is 95%. If there is a less than 5% chance of a raw score being selected randomly, then this is statistically significant result. Another information about the z-score is that what does the z-score table imply? The z-score table helps you to know the percentage of values below. To the left, a z-score in the standard normal distribution. Next, what are the types of z-score table? There are two z-score tables, which are the positive z-score table. It means that the observed values is above the mean of total values. Second one is the negative z-score table. It means the observed value is below the mean of total values.
I am John Anthony C. Palingkad, and my report is all about how to calculate a raw score when a z-score is known. Sometimes we know a z-score and want to find a corresponding row score. The formula for calculating a z-score into a sample into a row score is given below. As the formula shows, the z-score and standard deviation are multiplied together, and this figure is added to the mean. If we have a negative z-score, the corresponding row score should be less than the mean, and a positive z-score must correspond to a row score higher than the mean.